Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving weekend. This is Sami from the Black Room. My very first Facebook Live video, so let's hope let's hope I don't mess it up. We are having an open house this week in the Black Room, and we're at lunch break right now. So I thought I'd take a few minutes and share with you some of the things that I'm going to be watching this afternoon. We'll start with the ACAM. ACAM gap down today. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. It's my preferred time frame for trading the afternoon session. The ACAM gap down, so I'm watching for a sell setup. It's grinding up at the moment, so nothing too exciting there. The ALKS, the gap up got sold, so maybe we get a sell setup here into the declining 20. That's not bad. It's not quite there yet, though. The ARNC triggered the daily sell setup, pretty bearish. We'll see if it can base. And I also like to trade off of the declining 20, so I'm just going to wait for the 20 MA to catch up. DPZ has a daily sell setup, and maybe this afternoon gives us also another sell setup on the 15-minute chart. DPZ is a great long-term watch. Look at the weekly chart. That's a beauty. And look at the monthly chart. Monthly is not as good, I guess, but DPZ weekly is pretty good. So if we get a sell setup this afternoon, that would be fine, but at the moment, it's not looking all that good. The DVN is extreme weakness. We saw energy today gap down. USO was, I think, gap down 1.5% or so, and then got sold, then got bought. Today, oil is weak, but I think oil also has bottomed. If you look at the monthly chart, I mean, that looks higher. To me, oil and gold maybe has bottomed. Next buy setup on gold, or if we can go sideways for a couple months, then I think gold is a core long. The HRB, weak on the daily, weak on the intraday. No pattern or no setup in particular, so I'll just put it on a chart and watch it. The ions, another weak item. These symbols are sorted alphabetically. When I scan by sector. I know that some of the pharmaceuticals like ions, Guild, CLVS are all weak. Look at the CLVS, really weak. All right, the semis are also weak. The LRCX gap down this morning. Retraced 100%, now wide range bar, maybe igniting. Maybe we get a sell setup here. So I'm going to watch the LRCX. I'll put the LRCX on the favorites list. That's what the white watch list is for, is basically for my favorite bearish list and my favorite bullish list. So I'll put the LRCX on my favorite bearish watch list for the afternoon. The MAT is weak. Not too much movement, not too much momentum there, but we'll watch it. And then the NSC was looking okay there at the lows. Now it's popping. We'll see what happens when the 20 MA catches up. Maybe it puts in a red bar and then it breaks down off the declining 20. So we'll see. Nice gap on the daily chart, that's for sure. And then the next one on the list is P10. Energy again is weak. P10 is energy, I believe. RDC looks good. That's energy, I believe. RDC under 1375 by 1391. I'll put it also on the favorites list. Starbucks is pretty weak, but down a lot, so it needs to base or rally and do a sell setup before it's ready. The list at the bottom here are daily watches. I'll go over the daily watch list in a little bit. As far as bullish watches for this afternoon, we have the CPRX doing a 15-minute buy setup. I always like gap downs that get bought. This was actually a gap down and it got bought, so this looks okay for the afternoon, long to go back up. The GLYC basing at the high today. That's beautiful. Daily doesn't have a lot of room, but maybe $1. I mean, that's not bad. So if it can base a little more, I think the GLYC would be a nice breakout. The HXL, let's take a look at the weekly chart real quick. Yep, weekly buy setup. That's what I thought, because the daily is in an uptrend, pulled back, and is trying to fail on this recent downtrend, so I thought it might be a weekly buy setup. The HXL has also a 15-minute buy setup setting up. I'll put it on the favorites as well. The LB, very bullish daily buy setup. Intraday, maybe a breakout coming over the double top right there. The problem with the LB is it's not easy to figure out where to put the stop. I mean, you can put it under 50, but can easily get shaken out. I like to have my stop on the other side of the 20 MA, so meaning down here, and in this case it would be too large of a stop. So the LB is pretty bullish, but not a favorite watch at all. The Microsoft I thought was bullish. Intraday doesn't really look good. It doesn't have a lot of momentum either. The initial move this morning was pretty good, but it didn't base at the highs. It's just all over the place here. Nuon, maybe for a 15-minute buy setup. I like this one short this morning. I didn't get it. It wasn't like a favorite thing. And I don't think it gave a good entry. I think the first bar was a big red bar. I'll go back and take a look at the 1-minute chart. I used the 1-minute time frame at the open. Yeah, something happened with the Nuon. Big red bar, and then it sort of gapped down. So this was a really good watch. I mean, a good idea to play it short, but it didn't give a good pattern to get in it at the open. Nuon, maybe a 15-minute buy setup. I don't mind playing the novice gaps long in the afternoon, because if you think about it, novice gaps are what? Are bullish stocks that basically have just gotten a little bit ahead of themselves, right? And so when they lose the extension, when they pull back, they can go back up. So Nuon is okay for the afternoon. RHI, let's take a look. That's not a bad 15-minute buy setup on a stock that's really, really bullish. Breakout on the daily chart. I'll also put it on the favorites. That's a clean pullback. Notice the red bars, just one red bar after the other. We don't have any green bars ignored. Each bar's open is in the area of the prior bar's close, so they don't gap into each other. So that's pretty good. Roku is just the rocket today. Roku is on fire. I mentioned this as a long this morning in the room. Some people played it, 41.01. It was like a 30-cent stop. I'm going to the 1-minute chart. It might have been off the, I don't even know where here. 41.01 by 40.70. 31-cent stop. Let's call it 35. Wow. It's been a real rocket. Looks higher. Roku definitely looks higher. It's pretty wild though. So that's the issue. Maybe it does a 1, 2, 3 here. 1, 2, and then if we get a third bar that breaks out above the first 2 bars highs, then that would be a 1, 2, 3. I like it still. The LYB looks higher on the 15. Let's check on the hourly chart. Yeah, the hourly is still far away from the 20, so it looks okay. Long also, not too bad. RYB. And then SWIR, while it's really, really bullish on the intraday, the daily got to the target pretty much. I mean, you can say that's the target area, and it's almost there. So I would say the SWIR is no good as a watch. As far as swing watches, I like the AUY more as a core play, more as a weekly buy setup. See this? That's not bad. Downtrend, 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 and then now made a higher low, a higher high, right? And then now a higher low. With the gold stocks looking higher also. GLD, that's the whole sector, right? The ETF for the sector. A weekly buy setup. And daily, not too bad either. So kind of like the AUY as a core or a long-term play over 275. That's 270. Where's 275? 274, I think. 274. But I think it went to 275 that day. So yeah, over 275 on AUY. I am looking to play it. The BKD had a breakdown and then a base, and then it's basing and a base breakout, and maybe a 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, 4 long. It's all right. It doesn't have a lot of room. Maybe 40 cents. So I'm going to pass on this one. And then EIX is a nice looking daily buy setup on a stock that's just really, really bullish on every time frame. Look at the monthly chart. The beauty. So that's not bad. As far as the shorts, I guess I have a lot more to watch this afternoon. The TTD sell setup on the daily time frame. I don't like to play something short if the first bar is a wide range green bar, right? It certainly looks like it's rolling over on the hourly chart, but that's my concern. So I'll watch it, but it's not a favorite. INCR looks great. Triggered already. I gave it as an idea to the nightly game plan members under 36.50, 55, but it triggered already, but looks really, really good lower. INCR to the favorites. LC also looks lower. That's not bad. We have an unfilled gap below, which is a sign of bullishness, but looks lower on the daily chart. The guests had a gap down on Wednesday, right? Friday put in an inside bar, and today actually triggered short. So I'm in this swing short. Looks good. I didn't do full share size. I'm only in half size because it's extended on the 20. I like the 1, 2, 3 on the daily, but I like to do it when the 20 MA on the hourly chart catches up. So it looks okay, looks good, with a void below on the daily chart. And then the monthly looks okay too. The biggest concern is the weekly time frame. Notice the rising 20. But again, there is a void all the way down to about 14 to the 200 MA on the daily, 1350 maybe. So it looks okay. Guess it already triggered under 20. So this should be, or 24. This should be S26, S24. So under 24 already triggered. And then IGT looking good, lower, looks lower, pulling back, but has a lot of room. That's not bad. Support right here, so that's what's not good about it. And then BIVV triggered already. I should be in it. Yes, I am, but I didn't get filled the whole position. This was an official call for the nightly game plan members also. Under $50, the whole number is what I posted it as the entry under 51, and then the stop over 51.02. I guess here's 02. That's 02. So it triggered, but I didn't get filled much. It's a little thin. This was a very nice gap last week and made good money from it last Monday, I believe. And then if you look at the weekly chart, this is why I'm playing it short. I mean, just look at the weekly chart. Doesn't this look perfect? Transition C under wide range green bar to 48.15, 48.14. Beautiful. So I really, really like the BIVV. As I said, it triggered already, but it's not too late to hop in. The ADM looks lower, sell setup on the daily chart. Also, the weekly has a void below. So if we look at the weekly chart, I mean, that looks lower. That looks really, really weak. Extended on the 20 MA from the 20 MA on the weekly, but nice daily, okay daily. And then the TEDU is a very thin, weird trading kind of a stock, to tell you the truth, but looks lower under 13.03. Let me open this up a little bit. Under $13 by 13.31, and target not too large. I mean, doesn't have a lot of room, just to 12.50. And then the RWLK is a $1 stock, but certainly looks lower to me, basing at the prior lows, which is always a bearish thing when a stock goes to the prior lows and doesn't bounce off the prior lows bases. So I like it lower. I know it's a $1 stock, but it's available. I mean, I have it available at Interactive Brokers. The issue is it's also part of the pilot program, meaning it has 5-cent spread. On a $1 stock, 5-cent spread is a lot, right? But those are some daily watches that I wanted to share with you. There were lots of ideas, I think, this morning, but I didn't do much. This being Monday, the first day of the week, first day after a holiday, and first day of the open house with lots of questions flying through my screen. And so I decided to take it easy. I did one official trade, which was posted in the Black Room, and Black Room members benefited if you're in the open house. It was the JMEI. So here it is. The stock went climactic, and the play was a short under the 1 minute. Now, when you're watching a stock go climactic, you want to see a narrow range bar. So here I'm watching it, this is the 1 minute time frame, and no narrow range bars. So under 80 by 94. So I didn't like it so much. I did like the wide range bar at the end, which signals the extreme greed. It signals that the novice people have just gotten in it. The last batch of novice traders just got in. So I liked it short on the 5, but on the 1, it didn't really give me that narrow range bar that I look for. But look what it did. It gave me now a double bottom. This second bar retested the prior bar's low and it held, created a little bottoming tail. So I thought, if it breaks under it, I want to be in it short. Unfortunately, I think I closed out way too soon. First, I didn't get filled the whole position because there's 500 people in the room, 400 and I don't know how many people exactly. So just, if you have 30 people entering at the same exact price, sometimes it's a challenge on something. Actually, this was pretty liquid, but it's a challenge to get filled. So I got filled, I think, 2,200 shares. And then the other thing is I closed out half at 70 and then half at 53. So it didn't make a lot of money. Here it is, $400, right? And then the QD, that was just a scalp, $100. So nothing much. Like I said, I decided to take it easy, even though there were lots of ideas today that worked splendidly, like the SQ as a short. Oh my gosh. SQ worked beautifully this morning. I mean, look at the drop. Right, SQ was my favorite long-term watch as a short. This SQ has definitely gone climactic on the monthly, weekly, so I really like the SQ. Unfortunately, I was hoping it would run up more on the daily chart and give me an entry. It looks like today was the entry. So I do think the SQ topped out on the daily chart. So this was an idea. Lots of people took it, but like I said, personally, I decided to take it easy. The WDC at the open was an idea, and then on the breakdown was an idea. Worked. The RGN or REGN, the sell setup, check it out. Worked, right? Look at this. So typed it into the room also. INO as a climactic short. I mean, amazing. So there were lots of ideas, but I just didn't do a whole lot. I like to approach trading in a very professional, methodical way. So I not only like to take plays that have a good daily chart, but I'm very particular about what I do on the intraday. The stock has to set up a certain way. For example, the QD. I called it twice in the room as a long, but it wouldn't go. So here's the first call. It was over 1438, I believe. No, 1410 by 1390. Well, it took out the stop before triggering, so I canceled, and then it triggered, right? But it was already canceled, and then I called it again over 38, 1438 by 1413 or 1410, I think. 1413 was the lower, 1414, and then it failed, so I canceled the call, and then it went back up and triggered. So so there were lots of ideas, but I am very particular about what I do, and I like to again approach it in a professional way. And I would rather, hey, I would rather make $500 than lose $500. And if you make $500 a day, of course, during earnings season, this would be like a really slow, bad day. But if you make just $400 a year, that's $100,000 at the end of the year. You know what I mean? So small money also adds up. All right, guys, this was my first Facebook Live video. I hope it went okay. I'll see you in the black room if you're interested in joining us in this open house week. We do it like once a year, so highly recommend you take advantage. And if not, maybe I'll come back and do another video tomorrow. Hope you have a great rest of the day, and we'll talk soon. Take care, everyone.